Yeah, good morning. This is just another issue about, or just plain flick about repotting these guys, when to do it and how to do it. All I can tell you is one's tomatoes and the other one's peppers, until I look. And let's see. Number one is a Paul Robeson. So I want to be very careful that I don't have a lot of Paul Robeson planted, and I want as many as I can get. And the 52 is, passed it by. The 52 is the Chinese giant bell pepper. So we're going to start with the Chinese giant bell pepper. Because it's probably the most important thing we do at this time of the year is transplant these things and do so safely. So I didn't have any prepared soil for the repotting stage, which is considerably rougher than what I use for seedlings or for seed. Call it the seedling mix, and well, here. This is a seedling mix, as is this. Very fine stuff that the weeds just love. But almost nothing in here to restrict the seed from emerging. Perhaps if I turn the other way. So we'll take some of this and we'll just dump it out here. It doesn't make it any easier for me, but it may make it easier for the camera to pick up. So we'll dump that there. And then we'll dump another ingredient almost right next to it, which would probably be a mistake. I'm going to do it anyway. So we probably won't need a lot more than that, but I'll just go ahead and put it up there anyway. Then I'll take back the big pieces because they are not going to fit in these little pots. They do quite well in these because they break down after a reasonable period of time. So when I plant this whole ball, the size of that or larger, why, it goes right into the patch, and next year it's almost non-existent. And we're not going to do that this year. So we have our rough stuff. This takes the place of ceramic, broken tile pots and so forth, or stones. This is what I put in the bottom of a pot. Now, I get these, and I get them from a friend. I get them free. And I realize what a luxury that is. Because I went through years of planting in styrofoam cups and yogurt cups and everything else. But now, as you can see, she drops me off large quantities of these pots, and so my scrounging days are over. I must have a dozen packs like this stored up, and then I have these great big Rubbermaid containers. These great big Rubbermaid containers, and I think they're 40-gallon size, and they're just full of those pots. So anyway, we'll take just one and go through the motions. Geez, that's not what I wanted to use. What I really wanted to use is something more like this. And even that looks pretty, yeah, that'll work. This one is here. I'm really cutting down on my workspace here. Okay, I just found what I really want to use. So I'm going to put all this other stuff aside. I've got these tables, these steel tables. Actually, I did not build them. I could have, but I did not. My friend Tom, a couple of doors down, he built all these steel tables and steel racks for someone else. He was in that business. And he overbuilt. And then he went and decided he didn't want to work so hard anymore. So he's opening up a wine shop where people come and sit down and drink wine and stuff. It's kind of like a bar without booze. And he thinks that's going to work. So I inherited steel tables, put a nice piece of solid board on top, and this brown paper enables me to work freely and see and find everything, even seed. If the seed is more brown than I like and blends in with this, then I'll take a piece of that 6 mil opaque like plastic that I made the greenhouse, the mini greenhouse with. I'll put that down and then I can see everything. So here's the rough stuff that we're going to use. I dug it up out of the tomato patch, which I really did not want to do because I just really don't have that much out there. But this is closer, minus the rocks, to what I want to use here. This is probably a piece of horse manure. Yep, that's what it is. About a year old. I'll bust these up just a little bit, but not too much. I don't want it to be too fine. And here's what I do. I gotta keep remembering, go left-handed today. Okay, just enough to get that in the bottom there and provide me with some drainage. I don't know if I can show you or not, but we'll try. Okay, then something like that. Then we'll take our Chinese giant pepper and we'll get bold here. Oh, in fact, I just noticed you can see the two leaves still stuck together here and the seed is still on it. Can you see that? I hope you did. If not, it's going to be too late in the morning. Okay, we got the root ball out. I do it the easy way. Well, maybe now I can show you for sure that seed. I'll come as close as I dare and you probably lose focus. And then I'll rescue the plant by just ripping off these two leaves. Well, that didn't work too well. Let me get my snips out. It's what happens when you go through all these preparations and then you drop the ball on just one. And that was one. I didn't put my work apron on, so I wind up fumbling. But we got them now. There goes the one, and trim up this one. And we're ready to plant. And nobody's trimming off that root ball. Grab the wrong stuff like an idiot. If you allow your seedlings to achieve a decent size, as these have, this one's the best of the bunch, but nonetheless they are all pretty decent, then transplanting like this and breaking them apart is not a problem. I could have had 20 of those in that pot and still been able to do what I did. It would take me a little longer, a little bit more work, but I would still get the job done. Where you will mess up badly is when you disallow them from achieving size where they are strong enough to survive the manhandling I'm giving them and that you're going to give them. What's in here is some actual rough clay dug up. Some of that horse manure that they called it, which was really 70% clay and 10% horse manure, and the rest was all rubbish.